let's get started. My name is Rachel Christopher, and I've brought you all here today because I wanted to discuss a topic that is very important in our company and business right now, and that is that we're experiencing low employee retention, which is causing increased costs. So, I want to go over next couple of slides with you and show you some of the data that has been presented and give you some more insights into what can be done to increase employee retention and to decrease costs. So here's a little background about the data that we gathered. So it's a compilation of 250 employees ranging across 8 different departments: call center, finance, HR, IT, legal, marketing, sales, and those in the warehouse. All of these employees have been hired within the past 3 years. And we're going to show on the next slide whether or not they're still active or terminated. And now all the termination reasons that we've gathered for the purpose of this presentation are going to be voluntary termination, meaning that these employees have decided to leave on their own and they were not fired by the company. All right. So out of the 250 employees across these 8 different departments, sales have the highest in this survey, which makes sense as sales is a very important part of our company and drives a lot of our revenue. However, out of the 250 people that were gathered, the data collected from, only 5 out of the 47 are still active with the company and 42 are terminated. Now, this was a very concerning number for us to see, as they have a very high turnover rate, and these employees in the sales department are not staying at the company. The next highest turnover was with our finance department. They have experienced 27 terminations and only have 9 actives right now, which is not something that I expected to see. I would have liked to have seen that our finance department is staying very up to date and that the members are staying so that they could have more of a background of the company's finances. So that is something that we definitely want to look into more. One other thing that I wanted to call out on this slide is that we have a very great turnout for our call center. Our call center has about a little over 30 employees that were collected from this survey, and 24 of those are still active and only 8 are terminated. So I think this department's doing a really great job trying to keep their employees, and I think we could learn a thing or two from the call center. See if they're doing any sort of incentive programs that maybe aren't company-wide and is only just to this department. We have a lot to learn from them, see how they're keeping their employees happy. Same with the warehouse. I feel like both those departments, the call center and warehouse, when you just think of them generally, you would think that they would experience the highest level of turnover. But these numbers make me very excited to see that our company is doing something correct with these, and that maybe some of these can be applied to the other departments across the board. So on the next slide, it breaks it down more based off of the employment status versus your gender. So for actives, we only have 43 females and 63 males. And for terminated, 91 females and 53 males. This terminated number for females is very concerning. Why are our females leaving the company? Are we not diverse enough? Do they feel that there isn't enough inclusion? And so, one thing that I think we can take a step back and maybe look into further is what sort of policies, if any, do we have for that females may specifically be interested in, such as parental leave. Now, parental leave is across the board for females and males, but maybe it's not robust enough compared to our competitors, and that's something that we need to look into in revamping. And also, if we have flexible work schedules, I think that is one thing that could be detrimental to us. If the call center has more of a flexible work schedule than the sales team, then maybe more females are going to leave the sales team, and that's something we can look into to see if we can implement more of a flexible work schedule across all departments and not just for specific departments. Finally, the last graph that I wanted to bring up is the salary versus the department, and it's also broken into active and terminated. So our second to last column here is the sales department. And we've spent within the last 18 months a total of $4,631,388 on the salaries of those in sales. I'm very shocked at this number. And I think this brings up an interesting point. I think a lot of us I know personally for me going into this, I thought that maybe salary would be a driving factor of why these employees are leaving. And maybe that's not what it is, because even though we're putting in what seems like the majority of our money into the sales department so that they could have bring in the biggest clients and the best investments for us, they're not, and that's something that I didn't want to see here. So I think we need to look more closely to see the initial salary offerings and see how our sales department is doing based off of others, and maybe our salary is too low and we don't have any bonus opportunities like other companies do. Also, the next highest terminated amount is from their financing. So it's interesting to see that our two departments that experienced on the other slide the highest number of terminations are also the ones with the highest number of salaries, and how salaries playing a part in this. What I think you can also take away from this slide is that our call center, for those that are active, they have the highest, just by a little for salary, and they're only lost $747,000 worth of employees. Wow, the sales department has lost over $4 million. And so if we can get our retention rates increased and get employees to stay at our company, our amount of money that we're spending in just going to waste here is this $4,631,388 could decrease it drastically. So I went over that a little quickly, so I just wanted to summarize some key takeaways. That sales currently has the lowest retention rate, and that the call center and warehouse has the highest. The females have lower retention than males, and I did want to point out that there were more females included in this data collection, which could be a factor of this, but based off of how vast the differences were in for the active and terminated, I don't think that little bit amount of increase of females really is doing much to drive these results. And the last thing that I want to point out is the sales department has spent the most in salary. So what we can take from this data besides these takeaways here is that we need to do more research and reach out to our call center and our warehouse departments and see what they're doing to get their employees to stay. Are they doing any sort of specific incentive for that department? Are they able to be more flexible? Have they Are they starting out their employees at a higher salary, and how competitive are they to our competitors? For the sales department, what I'd like to see is our within the next 18 months that we're keeping a lot more employees than have voluntarily decided to leave, and I'd like to dig deeper into that and see why. So thank you for joining us today. I think if we talk to the call center and the warehouse department and see what they're doing, that can help us increase our employee retention and reduce our overall company costs. Thank you.